Welcome in. It is another edition of the Daily Fix presented by Foolish Club Media. I am Ron Hughley in the big box, baby. And that is little box, Steve Serta in the building. There you go. Hi. I haven't heard the old hi in a minute. There you go, Steve. That's old school right there. First thing I need you to do, hello for you all watching on YouTube. Those of you who are watching on Twitter as well. First thing I need you to do is like and subscribe Foolish Club Media, as I ask you to do every day. And if you do not do so, remember you are preventing my 3 children from eating. So please like and subscribe right now. Not going to hold you long. Want to get to a few things. Hey, before I get to these few things, shout out to the lady that was the TSA lady at the airport for me. She really brought my confidence level up the other day. If I can take a time out here, Steve, before we get going. I'm flying out, man, and I always get searched. I mean, I would say 29 out of the last 30 flights I've taken, I've gotten searched. Probably even to the 50s. I just get searched every time. I go through, put my hands up, and then they come out and have to invade my privacy every single time. And I told the guy
searched at the airport.
I told the guy, I say, man, get ready. You're gonna have to search me. I get searched every time. and so he searched me and he went through. And as I was getting my bags off the thing, the lady came over and she said, hey, would you like an explanation on why you're getting searched so often? She goes, it may be a little invasive and embarrassing. And I was like, well, sure. And she said, well, if it's that spot, and it is, it shows it's like a firebox right in my crotch area on the screen. She said, if it's that area, it usually means the guy's well endowed. That's what she said. That lady in her late 50s came through.
All right.
She said, yeah, it may be a hassle here, but it's always something that's pretty good for your wife. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, hell, that explains it.
I guess I'm not packing the same way as Ron Hughley is.
Hey, and she said it loud too, man. I was like, I did. I want to grab a Snicker and get away. You could sponsor the Daily Fix Snicker. That's all there for you. But I'm feeling good. Confidence is high. Thank you, TSA lady, for that. I thought I'd share that with you, Steve, as you were in the little box. And of course, this gives a new meaning for your boy being in the big box. But no, I do want to get to a couple of things. The NFL's version of Richard Nixon has come around. He is a crook. Also, there's a potential framework of a deal that could send a player to the AFC that I think the Chiefs fans and other AFC contenders may want to pay attention to. But I do want to start with the big news with the Chiefs. We started to hear rumblings of this. We heard rumblings of Creed Humphrey, and we also heard rumblings of Harrison Butker. And it does happen. They give him a 4-year extension, the Chiefs, and he is now the highest paid kicker in the game. And for his play, him and my man in Baltimore, I think they're the 2 best kickers in the game, and I think he deserves it for his play on the field. Now, Steve, a lot of people have gone in certain ways with this thing, talking about that, they're going to cancel him. They're going to get rid of him. They're going to cancel him. Steve, Harrison Butker, this was always going to happen. Harrison Butker was never going to leave this team. Now, as we've said on Show and BK, catch that every Friday, presented by Foolish Club Media. As we say on Show and BK, he might want to slow down on just making himself such a story. But he was never going anywhere. And you know why, Steve? Because he's good.
Unfortunately, he's very good. He's excellent.
It's not unfortunately for the Chiefs. I mean, listen, he's good. And I don't even think this is just to the Chiefs, but damn sure, with the Chiefs, it don't matter what you do. You could beat the brakes off a lady. We'll give you a new contract. You could beat the brakes off a lady, then have evidence showing that you would threaten the same lady you beat the brakes off of, and get 2 more contracts with the Chiefs. The Chiefs have had Frank Clark with the Chiefs. The Chiefs have had an issue. So certainly Harrison Butker doing what he does in the offseason, this time just more vocal, wasn't going to stop him from getting paid. And look, he's a great kicker, and he was going to get paid. So to me, the thought that this was potential, like something I told you he wouldn't get canceled. This was always going to happen with Harrison Butker. But again, as I said, I'm wondering if they had conversations. But dog, stop making yourself a story. How about that? Stop making yourself a story. But the Chiefs ink up Harrison Butker. All right, go ahead.
There's a case to be made that he's been better than Justin Tucker the last 2 seasons. He legitimately could be the best kicker in football. And there's not much of a case to be made for anybody else outside of Justin Tucker.
Oh, I'm with you. Not especially when you talk about clutch kicks and what he's done, and I think it extends more than the past 2 years, right? Like everybody talks about the Grim Reaper game against the Bills. And man, that wasn't an easy kick he made. That wasn't an easy kick he made to tie that game at the end when it was cold like that. So yes, I think there's a narrative with Justin Tucker, but you're right. I think there's a real argument that Butker could be the best kicker in football right now. I just don't rock with him outside of football, but he may be the best kicker in football. I mean, no, man, we're not grabbing a drink or milk or whatever it is that he partakes in. But I'm not surprised at all that the Chiefs made the right decision here. All right, listen, there's a framework, and I want to say this right now. I don't think the Chiefs are afraid of any team, but your understanding of being realistic on what teams could be improved and could be stumbling blocks or teams you might have to face. And Steve, we're seeing that obviously Brandon Aiyuk has been holding in, and he has expressed wanting to be traded. And there are rumblings that he may get traded. And now we have seen reports that he has 2 deals that are in place with the New England Patriots and the Cleveland Browns. And I would say, go New England. Get him, Mayo. Get him, Bob Kraft. Go get him. Because New England's nothing right now and probably for a while. But to me, I think it is interesting that this could change the Cleveland Browns. Now, I know you said, and we talked about this before, Steve, that you're hearing that this deal could include Amari Cooper going back to San Francisco. I didn't hear that. I know Amari Cooper's making $20 million plus. He got a new extension or added money in the offseason. I hadn't saw that. I thought it was Aiyuk being added to that group of Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, and eventually Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I saw a couple of people mention this, that if it was the Patriots, it was like Kendrick Bourne and draft picks going back to San Francisco, or if it was the Browns, it was Amari Cooper and draft picks going back to San Francisco. So it doesn't seem like he would be joining Amari Cooper in Cleveland. It would be basically a younger wide receiver with more upside.
That's better then, because if they were able to get him in-house with Amari Cooper, that is a game changer. Now we will still have to see if Mr. Nasty can get back to playing at the level he played when he was in Houston. But if they were, now that changes. Now Aiyuk, I think, is at his age and where he is an upgrade over Amari Cooper. But if they were to add him to Cooper, like that's a threesome that may potentially rival anybody. Pause on that threesome line, but that's one that could potentially rival anyone. That's one to watch. Also, words about him potentially going to the Steelers too. That would be interesting too, with him and George Pickens out there. I don't know who's throwing it to him, but that would be interesting with him and George Pickens. All right, Jim Harbaugh has become Richard Nixon of the NFL. I mean, if you look at him in this photo, he looks like a liar. He looks like the guy who's handing out bad candy on Halloween when you get to his door. I mean, he's starting to look more and more like his dad every day. And in every fashion. His dad's obviously like 25, 30 years older than him. But listen, my man, the new coach, Coach Moore over there, Sharon Moore, for Michigan is potentially facing show cause, which he may have to leave the sport for a few years. And I don't think it'll get that bad, but he is going to get suspended because my man had 52 text messages he tried to erase when he handed over the phone to the NCAA. So that's a deal. But listen to Jim Harbaugh and what he had to say about the situation as he got out of Dodge and he is just chilling on the beaches of LA.
Yeah, I do have a comment on that. Never lie, never cheat, never steal. I was raised with that lesson. I have raised my family on that lesson. I have preached that lesson to the teams that I've coached. No one's perfect. If you stumble, you apologize, and you make it right. Today, I do not apologize. I did not participate, was not aware, nor complicit in those said allegations. So for me, it's back to work and attacking with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
First off, he kicked it off by the same cheers that Will Smith and Hitch gave on the date with Eva Mendes. Never lie, cheat, or steal. If you must lie, lie the arms and the one you love. If you must cheat, cheat death. If you must steal, steal the moments that take your breath away. First off, Jim did that. Jim, are you kidding me? Is that where you're going to go with this, Jim? Oh, I don't apologize. I had nothing to do with it. I mean, Jim's just going to let everybody take the fall for this thing and act like he had no clue of this. You are a crook, a liar, and I mean, and the truth is not in you. I feel bad for John because I feel like John is a stand-up dude. This cat right here is just going to let everybody at Michigan just, drown at this thing and expect us to believe that he had no idea none of this stuff was happening and that Coach Moore just erased 52 text messages and his was clean. I can't stand Jim.
And this was after he let it hang over Michigan for the last 2 or 3 years that he was just going to jump back to the NFL and that he wins a national championship. And he's like, okay, later. Now go deal with all of the rules that I broke because I don't care.
Jim's been suspended 7 games for this thing. And he's still you didn't do a little bit wrong. Not just a tiny bit. You didn't maybe just send one text message too many. He's up here, nothing to apologize for this. Good God Almighty. Hi, Mom. And Courtney.